Last time, I found treasure. So I guess this first dungeon is pretty much over. All I gotta do is send out that card, scoop that treasure up, and then the long nightmare that has been the first part of the game will finally, oh so finally, be over. I can only hope. But, given the amount of caution that I've had about actually sending out this card and everything, and the fact that the day ended as soon as I found that treasure says, probably going to be fighting a boss. This is still a video game after all. So, instead of immediately jumping into that, I'm going to be doing a lot of prep-up work here. There's a lot of social links that I still have yet to do anything with. There's a lot of persona left in that dungeon. Locked chests that need lockpicks. Everything like that. I'm just generally getting a little bit of grinding here I think is going to help. This is hard mode, and until this point, I have been getting one-shot by quite a few enemies. And I'm going to be going up against the boss, which is supposed to be tougher than all of those guys that I've encountered so far. I'm gonna have to take it easy. I'm gonna have to chill for a little bit. Not rush into doing the boss fight. I mean, despite what it said, despite the big red days until expulsion in the upper right corner that you see most of the time, the only day that really matters is the last one. So Shadow Kamoshida's gonna have to wait until then. Although, I don't actually know if it's going to be Shadow Kamoshida. That's the most obvious choice, but there's a question of what exactly is the treasure going to manifest as? Is it going to be an enemy? Is it going to be like an intelligent, vengeful artifact angry at me for intruding on the palace and trying to steal it? Who knows? Maybe a combination of Shadow Kamoshida and that? I mean, after all, Tales of Middle-earth, a roguelike kind of branch off of Angband. Angband? I never knew how to actually pronounce that. I think the most powerful enemy in the game is the One Ring. Yeah, even more powerful than Morgoth. I don't know how that works, but anyway. So don't say that sort of thing can't happen. And honestly, I would kind of like to see that. If it was literally just like a gigantic evil treasure chest, which I guess is just a mimic, but what would Shadow Kamoshida have as his treasure? Probably the medal. I mean, I already got the gold medal as a puzzle element, as something they shoved into the wall there a little while back. But if it was like a giant evil golden medal, I kind of like that. And I don't really know exactly how it's going to be going for the rest of the game. I guess the only other heart that I've seen so far, or heard about, I don't know if he even actually saw it in any way, was the attaché case in the little opening cutscene. So I guess it's probably not going to be that. But I still like my idea anyway. Anyway, Ryuji getting some of that good rice power. Nothing charges me up like a big old bowl of rice. Anyway, I am going to be accepting this just because I do want to go into the dungeon. There's going to be a lot of dungeon crawling. None of it is going to be shown on screen, since it's all going to be stuff we've already seen. It's all just going to be me negotiating with demons, fusing up demons, everything like that. In other words, all the boring stuff. But, hey, if saying, yeah, we're going to send out the card is going to be the easiest way to get up to that, get up to the hideout immediately, that's fine by me. Oh boy. It's a new teacher. And he actually does refer to everybody with a kun suffix. That is not a fabrication by the translation this time. Teachers in general, well, a lot of like side NPCs have little affectations that you'll see a lot. Really? I'm getting a surprisingly apropos story again in class? These lectures are a lot like turning on television in a movie. Just immediately goes to the news with something entirely relevant to the plot playing. And hey, for once, I'm not the one getting called on. It's about time. I mean, after all, I'm bad at trivia on the best of days. When I have to be translating it from Japanese, it's just that's even more of a recipe for disaster. So cool. And of course, since you got it wrong, the teacher has to dunk on you. I mean, it's at least nice to know that it's an equal opportunity dunkage, if nothing else. It's like these teachers became teachers just to bully children. Speaking of which, hi. Yeah. Lay it on me, you Kermit the Frog sounding dude. What is up with that voice, by the way? Anyway, I don't know. I mean, thankfully it's a multiple choice test. So, cooking, bodybuilding, probably not. Singing, dancing seem to be more. I'm given that that everybody knows about Nero and his violin playing, even as apocryphal as that may or may not be. I have no idea. Singing or dancing would kind of be the best option. I said dancing because I don't know. Why do I even bother answering this stuff? You're just gonna dunk on me. I'm amazed you made it into being a teacher with that level of sass, young man. Mister? Whatever, he's probably not actually a young man. Although, let's be honest, considering this is anime, he's probably younger than me. Anywho, there is a level where you want to make everybody kind of against the main character to show that they're the underdog, to have you root for them because of that reason. But then there's also a level where everybody becomes so abrasive and irritating that you wonder why you're even helping these people out in the first place. Because everybody, the entire world is against you. This is something I've seen a lot in any time you want to try to portray somebody as an underdog in media. Or for like a lot of comedy, especially Chuck Lorre shows have it real bad, where everybody is real sassy and real sardonic at all points in time, you know, as part of a joke, but it grates on me like none other. How long was Big Bang Theory the most popular show on television? And I watched more than a few episodes. I've been unemployed and had daytime television. It eventually just got to the point where it's like, how is this scene going to end with somebody being snarky to somebody else? And I get that kind of feeling here too. I mean, I get that I'm supposed to be the downtrodden teen, you know, trying to make it in a world that is against him at all times, but it's like it just feels unrealistic to the point that I'm not even like getting mad at the teacher. I'm getting mad at the writers for making it so that everybody hates me so much. It's like, come on, guys. No, Morgana already explained this. It only lasts for so long. Of course, Ryuji, put it up on the counter. He doesn't get it once again. At some point in time, I feel like I should actually make that a real thing. But then again, I'm already doing a lot of editing on these videos as it is. And this one took longer than the previous one because of the amount of dialogue alone. I'm just looking at the timeline right now. It is jam-packed. So yeah, it won't stay materialized forever. It'll turn back into a bunch of colorless fog. And we'll have to walk through it and fight the Asylum demon. Oh, who cares? We're just gonna go in and steal the thing or fight a medal or something. I don't know. No, Ryuji. Look, this is... We are getting just kicked to the curb by the most regular of enemies. We're not going in yet. Yeah, and Morgana is also telling you, it's interesting, you lose out on going back to the dungeons after you finish them. Was not the case in the previous games. Well, anyway, I said no, skip town, back in the mean back streets, because I'm going to be doing another new social link coming up here with the clearly illegitimate doctor. I mean, she says she's legitimate, but I don't trust her. I want to check this out at some point in time. You do get the ability to wander around the mean back streets of this area at night, so I guess that would probably be a good time to do that. But for right now, I'm focusing on making some lockpicks to open up chests and everything like that. All right, cool. So... I think you know what I'm here for. Well, actually, I don't think she does know that, but she's going to know very soon. But first, I do actually need regular medicine. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna come back here and grill you about this secret human experimentation that you've been doing. I mean, I know that it's like, yeah, we're gonna try to take any advantage that we could possibly get, but is experimental drugs really the best idea? Anyway. Yep, I'm right back here right now. Mm-hmm. And I just imagine the main character sitting there with the biggest grin on his face right now. I like that second option too much. Come on. Come on. That is a strategy that always works. Just saying come on over and over. I don't actually know what it is, but I want it. Well, this is bad. Well, this was bound to happen eventually. I mean, I am working with people on the legal fringes of society. And when you're looking for trouble, you're going to find it in one way or another. And I wasn't even going to be using this as medicine for anything illegal. I was just going to go and steal people's hearts from the Shadow Realm. And I'd like to say that I have to call Airbud rules on that and say that there ain't no law against stealing people's hearts from the Shadow Realm. Yet. Maybe after this, all this goes down, but not until then. I wasn't going to be using the medicine for, like, getting extra pushing powers for my pushing crimes. No, I put that life behind me. No more pushing for me. I'm trying to reform myself, and I swore that I will never push anybody to the ground again. At least until the final battle in the game, where the final boss can only be defeated with one gigantic push. And not just a push from me, a push from all my friends, all the people I've met along the way, all the persona I've gathered. Huh? But that's quite a way off. Also, all those answers were the same, so yeah, I needed it for brain power. I need that adrenaline pumping. And instigator, all-night lover, generator, killer machine. Anyway, let's just keep going here. Oh. Well, I guess that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I fully expect her to start taking out the syringes and throwing them at me or something. Because, you know, she's a doctor and this is a video game. You know what? I'm going to play hardball here. Yeah. Not usually my style, but come on. Of course, it's like if she just walked over and locked that door again. That also would have been a completely reasonable reaction to that. Costs almost as much as a car. I mean, like a new car or a rental or something like that. Because I can get a decent amount of money from the dungeons. Well, not when the palace actually gets erased. That's going to be something of an issue. Because like I said, in previous games you were able to go through the previous floors of Tartarus or into the other dungeons in Persona 4, but here it seems like you only got the one at a time and you can't go back to the previous ones. Which I mean, we already got this really contrived reason to be sending out like cards and everything in the first place. Why not just come up with some sort of reason to be like, it's an echo of it in the Phantom Realm, and you know, it'll go away eventually, but not for a while. Something like that. So that I can at least keep grinding up stuff for the next couple days until the next palace decides to make its appearance. Yeah, come on, main character. Yeah, gee, I wonder why you couldn't get people to do this. This is... like, you are a very bad doctor. I'd just like to say. It's strange to see that all the rumors were true, but it does, in fact, appear to be the case. Hardy har. Well, I mean, I know that I don't die in the first part of this. There's still the scenes with Najima, of which starting up a new social link, are going to get one here where she's like, hey, where'd you get all that medicine and whatever? You must have had some sort of mob doctor working for you, and that's going to be the entire thing. Do it! Just do it already! I don't care if it looks like blood. You down that thing. Itadakimasu. Is there a camera in here? Am I getting pranked? Because, like, oh, well. It's totally fine, as it turns out. I mean, I'm pretty tough. I've survived a lot of battles, but I haven't actually gotten knocked unconscious like, oh, wait, no, never mind. Damn you, Takemi! Game over. Yeah! Of course, not actually game over. Until I see the Velvet Room, I know that I'm still kicking in one way or another. Besides, it only counts if I get knocked unconscious in the actual dungeon, not outside of that. At least I don't think there's any way that you can get game overs outside of the actual fights in any of the other games, but I don't know. Somehow I get the feeling that this isn't really a peer-reviewed, like a double-blind sort of test here. But hey, we get a social link where I'm participating in mad science. Great. And also, apparently, kind of a prank show? Which I'm still not convinced that it's not. My exams, though. Yeah. I feel like I'm not really... I feel like I can't really trust what she's saying on this all that much. Well, as long as I continue living for the foreseeable future, I guess gonna continue this. Great. Cool. Well, you said that you sell them in hospitals previously, so, I'm starting to get the feeling that, my previous assumption that Takemi really can't be trusted is, correct. I mean, alright. Just not that medicine, please. And also, don't let me buy stuff that is completely untested from you. Although it wouldn't surprise me at all if eventually there's a level of, you unlock some sort of medication that is, it heals you a lot, but also dazes you, or charms you, or causes you to sleep. Be an interesting sort of thing, because I don't really think that, Persona has trafficked in that sort of gimmicky type of items previously. And I do take a... And I do generally use a lot of these items in and out of battle because, well, my healing options are pretty limited right now, and 3 of my party members have fixed persona, and the one that doesn't is not always going to have something to cure basic afflictions a lot of the time. The death persona. Wow. All right, then. That's, or the Death Arcana. Whatever. Not anytime soon. I still have to make sure that I'm not getting expelled from school. Or if I do get expelled from school, expect me back here for a lot of untested drug trials. What if I do actually get to take entrance exams here? feel like if I walk into the room, they'd be like, oh, no, 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 not you. You've had too many rumors about you. I remember the first time that I was playing this, I actually did look at the date to see if it did change to like Sunday. Because I was thinking, it's like, how long was the main character out here? Oh, yes, and I also get to work on Guts by coming here, which, of course. Still not getting a point in anything. Boy, it is very stingy about giving out those points. Because I have trained a lot of that stuff at this point in time. Ah, yes, and this is where you unlock getting to wander around at night. Which is good, because, you know, hey, that just opens up a whole lot of other stuff that you can do. Probably other social links, and other ways to train things. Something that didn't really appear in any of the previous games. I mean, I think that both Persona 3 and 4 eventually did get that in the form of the remakes, you know, FES and the Golden. But it was missing from the vanilla game for a really long time. So now they finally introduced wandering around at night. Yeah. That's what you always say, Sakura. You have yet to make good on that. Well, I think I also have yet to actually try to test him on that point. So, we'll see. No. This is where I wanted to make some lockpicks, and then the next day go and unlock all of the stuff that I have yet to do. Which, like I said, don't worry, you don't have to see that one. I mean, you're also not even going to see this. I do get a little bit more proficiency here, not enough to level anything up. But apparently the main character is good enough at crafting them to craft several of them at once, so I was able to get everything opened up here. Did we hear that in this episode? Was that when I was talking about Lord of the Rings? I don't even know. Yeah, old school shopping network shows. I mean, it's something that's been in the previous games, and they are worth doing. I still find it crazy that that thing is still open. And also, it really doesn't matter where we meet. Ryuji has a point here. We could just say, hey, let's go meet in the alley in text messages here. It's not like we've been too shy about, hey, what if somebody steals our phone or something like that. In fact, just meeting up in a physical location is probably way more inefficient than anything else. But yes. One fun time dungeon crawling jaunt later. Finished up with that. Yes. The treasure is here. Ready to go whenever I am. Oh, but also there's this little cutscene here where you get I guess what the public's been saying? I don't know if this is going to be appearing a whole lot later, but haven't seen it yet. I don't know. I know we'll see if I can't make an honest politician by the end of the game, because I'm still expecting that to be the final dungeon. Now, Make an Honest Politician does sound like I might have been talking more licentious than I was, but I'm not. I mean, of course, I am also going to be sending out cards saying that I'm going to be taking somebody's heart. Which makes it seem like I'm trying to ply Kamoshida with, like, flirtatiousness. Or, I guess he's supposed to take it like we're going to rip open his sternum and steal his heart. Or something like that. It's weird because, yeah, we're going to be sending out calling cards saying that on there, and that's a very strange message when you think about it. But, oh, yes, Shopping Network. Shopping Network has been in the previous games. It is generally a good set of items that you get there. Either rare stuff or really powerful stuff or whatever. It tends to be worth doing if you can. Even though, at this point in time, thinking about, like, ordering stuff through QVC is kind of ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, 20 bucks, I can afford that. So I will. I don't actually know what Party Can does, but it appears to be some sort of healing item. And I do need healing items. I can only heal so much when it comes to being in the dungeon right now. But at least judging by a little bit of the dungeon crawling that I've done since recording this, I doesn't seem like you can use it in battle. It's one of those things that you use in the safe room, which is fine. I mean, I still need that regardless. Would have rather had something like a good weapon or a good SP healing item rather than an HP one, but hey, it's also really not that expensive compared to how much money that I've been making dungeon crawling. So yeah, every Sunday, should probably be checking that out. Really, I should be checking out the television a lot more just in general. I feel like I'm missing out on a whole lot of lore bits by not looking at that as often as I could. And dungeon crawling means can't do anything else for the day. As usual. I mean, despite the fact that Sakura's right there, I would like to talk to him, get a little bit farther in his social link, but nope, not happening. Too tired. Oh, yes, the one book that you can check out from the library. And I don't really know exactly how this works, if it's just like random that you get a spot to sit down in or on specific days, but hey, I'll take it. I mean, I guess it obviously wasn't tremendously random because I see that this was written at a time where people just kind of said exactly what they were going to do. So, a practice that persists to this day in video games like Persona 5. I don't know. I think I got 2 bookmarks into it. But yeah, so I guess there's other options to be able to read these books over time. Which is good, because that is a good way to grind up some of the skills you get in the game. Well, hey, thanks, Morgana. I'm glad to see that you're keeping a lookout for me efficiently using my time, Mr. Go-to-Sleep, at all points in time, regardless of what I could or could not be doing during the rest of the day. I missed out on a Sakura social link the other day because of you. Find that very disappointing, because I really want to do some more of that. Oh yeah, more NPCs talking about food here. At some point in time, I am going to have to actually go down to that diner place and see what it actually does. For right now, there's a lot of social links, a lot of grinding up, a lot of just, well, cutscenes and tutorials that I got to do. Not to mention the dungeon. But eventually, I'm going to get to a point where I can't do social links, or I have everything already fully leveled up in terms of the meta stat things. It's something that happens a lot more when you get to New Game Plus in these games. When you have a lot of the social link ending items and you're just kind of going back home for the day over and over until the next dungeon starts up. It gets to be something of a slog. Just skipping cutscenes over and over like that. Oh yeah, the nostalgic steak, which is in Japanese something like grandmother bag? Bagu? I honestly don't know. I feel like that's probably something that if I was more familiar with Japanese, I would probably understand better, but I have no idea. Yeah, curry's apparently pretty good, at least according to the protagonist. Also very spicy, so any of those answers were correct. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll be after I finish up this dungeon, because, well, there won't be a dungeon, and we won't be talking about Kamoshida over and over. And it'll just kind of be like, do whatever for a while. At least that's what I'm expecting. We'll see. Oh, yeah, it's Kawakami. I haven't seen her for a while. I mean, she appeared a lot pretty early in the game, and now, I guess, just kind of demoted to regular lecturer, at least for a time here. I do know that she's going to have a social link later on, because you don't give a person that much introduction without having that happen. So, Shiodoki versus Sawari. Talking more about Japanese stuff that I don't really know because I'm not still learning the language after all. I guess that would be like the accurate comparison, the could versus couldn't care less. I don't know, because I'm pedantic, I always use the couldn't care less. So Kakishinhan, which is interesting because that is entirely untranslated. that is... It's as it appears, and judging by the characters that constitute it, it's something along the line of... Kakishin means belief, like conviction. So, and Han is crime, so a crime of belief, a crime of conviction. Yeah. Just start making fun of me right now. Although, thankfully, Morgana's here to help me out, so I don't think there's any way you can get this wrong. Because otherwise, we would have to see Kawakami's mean side come out here. And I don't think anybody wants that just yet. Like, how would you know this? How would you know this if you were playing the English version? I can at least make an educated guess based on the characters that are part of the word, but... Like, this has got to just be like, I choose one at random, I suppose. That sort of thing happens. I remember in Persona 4, there was a point where a character was figuring out a puzzle based on, like, the parts of a kanji having meaning, and I remember that the translation was real weird at that part. Yeah, it's apparently the colloquial way to know about it is it like as a premeditated crime, but the actual definition is more like a crime of passion or something like that. Like you're actually doing it out of your own beliefs or convictions or something like that. Again, something that I certainly didn't know coming into this, and I'm actually studying this language. So, the good conviction that you're right, I suppose. Getting a little bit more into the whole Japanese study than I thought I would this episode. Not that I actually do anything with the whole Japanese study. This is really mostly just a vanilla playthrough of Persona 5. It's just the whole learning stuff exists as a thing in the background. Which is always one of those extremely confusing concepts. But I'd like to say that baffling content is what I peddle in more often than not. That and Dead Cells. Nothing baffling about that game. Oh, whatever. You guys turn faster than the weather. You guys are flipping like waffles all the time, whether you like me or not. Based on how well I do in school? Huh. Well, anyway, cool. I don't need your praise. So yeah, Kakishin-han, of course, also, once again, like I was saying before, very relevant to the story. Morgana, that would also imply that what we're doing is a crime. And I'm not ready to face that reality just yet. So, let's wait until we actually have stolen the treasure first.